I see. You're good.
Let me scroll back.
Says you're live.
Yeah, I lose this mouth. You good? I mean, I believe we're streaming now. We're just checking. We were going to stream both the insurance committee and the full board meeting without a break in between.
All right. I'll go ahead and call the insurance committee meeting to order at 6:54. Those present are Joe Cobb, Lance Kendrick, and Derek Ross. So we have one bid for the health insurance here. That's all we received?
Yes,
Okay. The Hope Trust isn't bidding?
they're current, so they're just gonna offer renewal.
We don't have the renewal rates?
Pardon?
We don't have the renewal rates?
No,
How are we supposed to do a comparison?
I'm just saying what they said.
So we only have one company to consider.
Well, you're not considering anything tonight, is what the minutes said, right? Tonight you're just opening the bids and then they're gonna schedule another meeting. So I'm assuming that what they get, is you will have their renewal rates on the meeting.
Well, I was looking at trying to put a meeting together for potentially this Thursday to go over what we have, so will we have our renewal rates by Thursday?
I don't know. I haven't talked to them about any of the meetings.
I see.
I just put the bids out, like, I just published them.
Okay. Well, we have one bid here from Glenn Cooley that has Blue Cross and United Healthcare. They have some comparable plans in here. Yeah. Oh, sure. I didn't. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So we have one bid here from Glenn Cooley that has Blue Cross and United Healthcare. In his narrative, it says the United Healthcare premiums aren't that competitive, but the Blue Cross ones may be. I mean, it's kind of difficult to do a comparison when we don't have what our new rates are going to be. So I guess we'll have to go with what we've got to look at. So let's see, Glenn Cooley, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Did anyone reach out maybe for an extension on the health insurance, or you thought somebody else might be? Okay.
No, not health insurance. Property casualty we did. They also had some questionnaires that I forwarded on to you guys, and one of them will need GIS to fill out, but nobody on the health insurance. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had 6 people request the bid packets for the health insurance.
Okay. Alrighty. So I guess the next step is to go over what we have in front of us here. Do you guys have some availability on Thursday, or would you prefer to make it later? Or we didn't get any bids on the property casualty. Then there were some vendors that were asking for an extension. Would you prefer to defer another insurance meeting until we can get the property casualty in at the same time? Yeah. You want to do that? Does that make more sense to try and just have one insurance meeting with, okay. The only problem with that is that I know we need to make some type of decision in August on the health insurance. So I don't know if we can get the property casualty bids in. Did the vendors have any indication on how long they would need for?
The one that I got from AIG was 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, okay. So maybe by the end of September?
Yeah, I would say once they receive it, I will say that 2 weeks, well, a week and a half ago is when I sent all the departments the information. I only received one back, so I didn't receive all the stuff back from the departments yet.
All right. How can we facilitate getting that done?
Department can just fill out the information on it. It's got like information about like their employees, like their shifts, that kind of stuff in it. So, I also, like I said, we want on GIS, so that needs to be filled out, you know, our cyber security information, and that'll need to go through Microsoft, all of that stuff.
Okay.
So as soon as we're getting those back and we're ready to kind of send them off, that's when we'll follow up on what I'm missing. Right now, I'm missing 99.90% of it, so I can't really hunt all of it down. And kind of as we start getting some of it, and we're ready to send it off, and then your guys' approval of extension, then we can kind of start putting it together.
Did you give them a deadline, the department heads?
Well, the deadline was today, because we didn't.
No, I mean the department heads for returning their information.
The deadline would have been today, or Friday, because that was, the extension hasn't been approved yet, right? So no, there was no need for me to, because we didn't approve the extension. But you guys were going to discuss it tonight, so if the extension is approved, then we should discuss what the next steps are.
Well, I guess I would entertain a motion to extend the property casualty date. It's end of July, end of August, to like September 15th. That would give them enough time to hopefully get everything back.
I'll make that motion.
All right, is there a second? Joey seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Since we're going to extend that far, we can't wait that long to make a decision on the health insurance, because we have to let the Hope Trust know that we're leaving if that ends up being the case. So, do we want to try and maybe have an insurance meeting the week of our normal meetings and see if we can squeeze it in during one of those, or?
I should find that if you want to try to schedule one. I'm going back to, are we gonna get ourselves into any type of situation? Because how can we open this bid and then wait for a renewal price from Hope Trust and call it like a fair bid? You know, because this was the bid opening date, does that not kick out any, I mean?
Well, I would think so. I mean, I'm confused on why they didn't feel the need to present what their numbers were going to be for the.
We don't have an answer for it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, any bid opening on a tender, you can't just say, well, this is the company doing it now, we're gonna open all these bids, and then we'll get their bid in a week.
Jim, I believe you had a discussion with them about that.
The Hope Trust opinion was that they have the business at the moment, they can renew it or plan is.
Yeah.
So we already had the numbers of what the renewal would look like?
No, there was one about 30 August.
So we gotta notify them by the end of September if we're going with them or not?
That would be the second.
The second, so we got a week,
It'd be about 10 days.
10 days. So that's kind of, I don't know. Don't have a lot of time to make a decision and squeeze everything into that window, but I don't.
Granted, my experience is only with the state, but when you let something out for a bid, everyone had to bid. The current vendor couldn't have just said, well, I've already got the business, you know me, so I'm treated differently. They would have had to fill out the same information everyone else and by the same deadline.
Well, that's the question, I'll have to look into it. It's a little different because, you know, we're a member of the Hope Trust. It's a self-insurance pool. And so, you know, that's what I've been saying all along. We're self-insured. We were self-insured before we got to the Hope Trust. And we're just in a bigger pool with all the benefits and the downsides that come with it. So I'll look into it, but my first blush on it is it's a different animal because we are in a self-insured pool. And it's not like the broker or a company, third party, bidding something. I mean, we're part of a pool and we gotta get our information as the pool operates. And the way the pool operates, from what I understand it, is we don't get our renewal rates until the end of August. And then we have to make a decision by September 1st. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is kind of irrelevant. But it's just the way it is.
Well, I feel like if we knew we weren't gonna have any information from them until the end of August, we could have went without having this meeting here. And we would have set this meeting for then, I guess.
I agree.
Oh.
Well, I would, I mean, I mean, we've got some competitive numbers. It sure would be nice if, I guess we'd go with what we got. I mean, if they didn't feel the necessity to give us numbers. I mean, I guess I can reach out to Mr. Cooley and make sure that we have all the different options that are available here so we can figure out what the final number is going to be. I mean,
Because everything for the Hope Trust on this is based off of previous rates, correct?
my understanding on this spreadsheet is that everything in the Hope Trust, when he's doing a comparison, is based off of our current rates.
And we're expecting a 15%.
Well, it depends on who you talk to. Our history has been 15%. They gave some information on claims that said we were running at 40%. So I don't know, which is, again, why I have a problem with if we don't know what we're working with and then we find out and have a week to decide. That doesn't give us a lot of time to be able to do some comparing. And Mr. Shepherd, do you have any idea what type of renewal we're going to get?
No, I do not.
Okay. Well, I guess I would entertain a motion that we proceed forward with looking at the Blue Cross plans. And I can try and narrow down more specifics on what plans could be offered side by side and figure out what the costs would be. I know we need to figure out what finance wants to spend on benefits, so we could figure out what the per pay deductions would be for everybody. So
Okay. You want to, I'm sorry, what motion?
I was saying that we entertain a motion that we proceed forward with our Blue Cross quotes here, since that's all we got.
So I made a motion that we set another meeting to review.
The property and casualty, that's in September.
Do we want to just, do we need a motion to take the bids that we've received into consideration?
Uh,
So the last meeting, you guys publicly stated you could not make any action today on any bids received. So that was a specific question that was asked, it specifically reflects the minutes. And so that's when it was stated, the follow-up question, that he would then be having another insurance committee meeting with an agenda posted on the consideration of those specific proposals.
Exactly. So the motion that we're looking at is we have one bid from Blue Cross. So we're going to take our Blue Cross bids, we're going to put that in together and have an insurance meeting to tell the employees that's our option. Because that's what we have. So I would schedule a meeting for, I don't know what I gotta get a calendar. I don't know what the 15th looks like. Are you both in town?
I'm out next week.
You're out next week.
Yeah.
I mean, does it make any sense to have a meeting before we know what we're doing with the Hope Trust? Before we get anything back from the Hope Trust, because
What's the deadline?
everything crunches us on
What's
time.
the
It
deadline?
doesn't,
The deadline
it'll just be
is
this that we're reviewing. I mean, we could, theoretically, we could send this out in an email at night and say this is,
Technically, it's over because they didn't submit anything.
I don't disagree. I mean, I've been in situations personally myself where I wanted to come in after the fact to say, hey, here's the numbers I came up with, and like, you missed the date. So, and I know the Hope Trust has given renewals earlier in given situations, so why they chose not to this year, I don't know. But
Can I ask how you know that? I mean, what?
because I was here. I was here. I was on the insurance committee. They brought it in June.
No, we didn't. That never happened there.
What year, what are you referring to, so like, got that?
97 or 98, it would have been, I believe.
You went. You went on the insurance committee in 1998. And the Home Trust didn't exist until 2012. Would you like to continue this story?
Sure, you have 5 minutes, go ahead.
No, ask.
I'm just asking you, what information you're going on, they sent us a renewal in June. But here, it was in 98, and it didn't exist until 2012.
Oh. My apologies. 18.
2018.
I was thinking 17 or 18. I had my years off. So, I stand corrected. We do make mistakes. But irregardless, they knew we were trying to get numbers. I don't understand why they felt that they didn't need to get us anything.
Did you reach out to anyone and ask them? They have different plans that you would have asked for information on before the renewal. They built this for us as a county, and at our conference that we just went to, Don, you want to speak up to it? Any county that was having some financial issues, anything that, again, they would be more willing to meet and discuss other options for our employees. Our employees, I think, at the meetings and calling me directly, a lot of employees are interested to become trust, if they pay a little bit more, it's a little less, change the, there was a whole lot of working that could have been done prior to this.
And that was what I was hoping was going to happen after we got the initial numbers, that we could then say, what else can you offer? And I put that in the narrative, and I asked for rates that may be 20% or below where we're at. That was in the bid packet. Maybe you didn't send a bid packet to the Hope Trust?
I sent a bid packet to everybody that requested a bid packet.
So did the Hope Trust not request a bid
They
packet?
did not request a bid packet.
I mean, it sounds like we haven't clarified whether that's something that the Hope Trust is required to do or not, because they're a different type of entity. So it doesn't seem to me that you can just move forward and say, this is the only bid we got. We didn't get one from Hope Trust, but they're not required to give us one, because it's a different type of volume like one last night.
And if we're looking at financials, if that plan is going to cost us $24, and you said this is the only one we're not going to go with it, really? I mean, is that what we're looking at possibly here? Because, I mean, I don't know if we've got time to go through and look at it, but we're going to have some very
very unhappy employees.
Yeah, we're aware of that. It's just, I mean, the fact of the matter is we were having a bid opening for renewing the health insurance. Like, that's not confusing. That's not a complicated matter. Everybody knew that we were gonna look at the numbers for what we're gonna go forward with, whether it was the Hope Trust, whether it was a different provider. That had been repeated 100 times. Like, I don't understand I get it that we're self-insured through the Hope Trust. But if we were gonna make a decision to go away from that, we needed those numbers today.
You said we weren't gonna make any decisions.
We're not making any decisions, but we can't, once you have a bid opening, like if we were going to build a new courthouse and we've worked with Petty Construction for 10 years because they do a good job, and we got 5 bids from other companies, and Petty Construction said, well, I work with the county all the time, I'll submit my bid next month. That wouldn't fly.
After all the other bids have been submitted.
This is a different entity.
They have to give their prices, dear. They have to tell you what it's gonna cost.
By the date in August.
I'm pretty sure they have to tell you what they're gonna charge you.
But, yeah, being self-funded, I don't know that really plays into this. I mean, we could have got another self-funded quote from another company and they would have had to bid at the same time. So I'm confused on why they play by different rules.
We just,
Well, give me a chance to look into it. Because I'm not giving you a definitive answer, but it's a different animal than soliciting a bid from an independent third party. And, there's no need to make a decision tonight.
no, we're not, I don't think we're saying we need to make a decision.
Exactly, so just pick a new date when you're gonna talk about it, and I'll have the answer for you at that new date.
So are we going to allow other companies to submit bids up until that date?
You have to.
I guess so.
You
I
have
don't
to.
know.
Okay, so I would make that motion, I would make, I guess. I'm not gonna,
Yeah. I
We
agree.
submitted requests from all the other companies that got bid specs.
I will have to put that in
See
paper.
what happens.
So we have to run the paper with the deadline,
yeah.
which is fine. I just need to know the specific deadlines.
I think you want to reach out to Hope Trust like tomorrow and see when they can.
It would be nice if somebody that talked with the Hope Trust sometime between December 1st and now, but nobody has.
Yeah.
Chairman of the insurance committee's never just talked to him. He's never called him. He's never desired to talk to him. So, is that the right way to do business with a company that you're dealt with for 20 years?
Yeah, I mean, I know Derek made attempts to go through our county officials to do it, but
I saw the emails, Andy. He reached out, trying to get the specifics on it. But
He
To
asked
who?
Natalie's
I
office.
received an email from Derek asking for detailed claims history for medical claims.
He hasn't contacted the whole trust. He hasn't talked to them. He's the chairman of the insurance committee. That's a problem. That's a major problem.
Is he allowed to?
What do you mean is he allowed to?
Well, we had a meeting where he was chastised for reaching out by himself. So,
That was before the bids were put.
and this
That's the
whole,
problem with the Open Meetings Act.
and
If he's holding a committee meeting, a one-man committee meeting,
I don't think you held a
I
meeting.
think him and the chairman.
I don't think anyone held a meeting. I don't think anyone held a meeting. I think
You don't think, but you don't know.
nobody knows.
I think the chairwoman stated that they had talked.
I think,
Derek and I have talked, but 2 board members talking does not violate the Open Meetings Act.
Well, you're right. But that's not a committee that's discussing anything.
That's right.
So here's what I did, Mr. Barman. I reached out to get claims information from our county clerk, who is our, I think, depending on the day, our HR person for the county. And that is to be, they have the records. So I asked, number 1, for an audit. I understood that our trust is audited on a regular basis. She did not have that information available. And I also asked for claims information, which I've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah,
And
but
therefore-
you talk to the companies you deal with. You talk to Mr. Cooley.
I haven't talked to Mr. Cooley except to say that there was a bid that was going to be released. But I can assure you that what I was asking for was month-to-month claims information, so we could compare that to premiums and see what our loss ratios were. That is a standard type of report that should be available from the Hope Trust, since we are participants in it. It's a self-funded plan. And in fact,
But you did not contact them to get that information because you will not call them.
but I'm trying to go through the proper channels to do
No,
it.
proper channels to call the company that's providing.
Who's supposed to handle the day-to-day stuff?
They administrate our insurance.
That's right. Who's supposed to handle the day-to-day operations of the health insurance?
Derek, we only pay the bills. I don't see any fee claims, I don't see any claims histories, I don't see any of that. They handle all the claims histories, so the only thing that we see is what we provided. We provided you with the bills that you asked, we provided you with the HR information, we provided you with the employee census. All of that stuff is what we provided you. I don't have detailed claims information on any employee whatsoever. That is stuff that I put in the email that you were gonna have to go to the Hope Trust. And then what happened in that email, and I'm willing to share that with anybody that wants it, is the fact that then you started berating me in an email. And that's when I said, we're not gonna put up with this, I'm not gonna be talked to you like that. And then from now on, you could deal with the state's attorney on those questions. And I directed you directly to the Hope Trust. And I said, if you would like that information, please reach out directly to the Hope Trust. I can provide you with X documents, and that's what we provided you as far as the package.
Okay.
So I don't wanna get drug into this because we're providing you what we have.
I think, Andy, though, I don't believe there's any question that Hope knew we were bidding this out and when. I mean, they sent an email back when they knew we were looking for information, and I can't remember if it was Natalie or Catherine or who, but someone sent that to all the board members. A very long, detailed email about how the money they were spending and everything. I don't think there's any question they knew that it was time to submit a bid. Now, as Walker's saying, maybe they felt they're different and they don't have to submit a bid like everyone else, then I guess, I'm interested to hear what you have to say on that. But the issue of, I'm not sure it helps us to keep arguing about whether or not Hope knew about the situation, because clearly it did from the information we got back.
Out there. I'm not sure that I've seen that email.
I would have to go home and look for it and pull it up, but
It
it
was
had a lot
forwarded-
of detailed spending information in it.
It was forwarded from Ms. Roseberry, from Jason Booth. And within that email, though I asked for monthly claims, they said that wasn't available. So there have been times that I have asked for information and they've come back to say that it's not available, which doesn't make any sense to me. And then they did give us a somewhat general idea that we're running at a 140% claims ratio, but has no data to back it up with. So I'm sorry if I express my frustration, and I'm not going to waste my time reaching out to people who don't give me what I know they have available and refuse to do it.
When you didn't ask for it. From them.
But
From them. You have not contacted them. I just find it crazy that.
Walker,
that,
is he allowed to contact me?
Absolutely.
All right.
I will just say, though,
Make a motion to
that
contact Hope Trust.
if we all remember, Derek was questioned as to whether he had contacted potential bidders.
Yeah.
And people were objecting to it.
Not the Hope Trust, and because we are owners of the Hope Trust. I mean, we're part of the Hope Trust, that's what everyone's been missing in this whole, discussion. And that's why all I'm asking is set a new date. Let me research the legalities of that, because the intergovernmental cooperation agreement that we are a party to and have been 10 years, governs our relationship, okay? They are not a third party. We're already in the pool, and we're bound by how it all operates. And so what I want to find out is those dates on when we have gotten that information in the past, okay? And whether, from a legality standpoint, if they're put on notice from one of their members, that one of their members is trying to go out and get a bid from a third party on what their responsibilities are, okay? That's what I want to research. So all I'm asking, like I said 15 minutes ago, is get a new date. All this other talk is superfluous for right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Get a new date and find out, let me find out what the legalities are. And then they either had to have done something by the end of July, or they didn't have to do something by the end of July. And then we still have, depending on, you know, when they're gonna get back to us, which I think we can told the third week of August, that still gives us time. That's your decision.
We just attended the whole trust conference that has a wealth of information to it. And I just found it odd that nobody, board member wise, on our insurance committee attended.
I didn't get an invitation.
Mr. Rowan's been there to meet about it. I mean,
I didn't get an invitation. I had no idea there was a meeting.
yes, you did, Derek. I sent it to before the last month's board meeting. I handed them out to every one of you. I handed them out to you.
Oh, they were in
You
the-
made it absent,
They-
but they were handed out. It's a known fact. I mean,
I had
If
conflict.
you wasn't here, then it was that.
yes, yes.
Mr. Walker, I had a question for you. So can we leave this bid sealed, even though we've opened it here? Can we not, is this now public information?
That's public now.
Yeah.
Was it opened here or was it opened in advance?
It's-
You talk like you've seen it.
No, I haven't. It
Oh.
came.
You just said, I thought
it
it,
out Thursday and Friday. I walked into the office today. I dabbling in and out. I have not seen everything.
I thought you said we were going to have a lot of unhappy employees.
I said, if this is the only one they're taking without looking at what the figures are, not knowing that it could be higher than what the county is paying now. Rita, nobody are gonna go for that. That doesn't make absolutely no sense.
All right, then, if we, Walker's asking for another date. Are you asking for another date of the insurance committee?
Yes.
Okay.
And,
I mean, that's on the agenda.
yes, but we thought we would have,
And then you could discuss the possible recommendations.
but we thought we would have bids to review at that
You
time.
do,
One,
yeah. And so the legal question is the Hope Trust required to bid?
so if you set a date,
Again, they're not a third party. We are part of the Hope Trust. So I gotta go back to that intergovernmental cooperation agreement, look through it, and come back with an analysis for it.
I'm pretty certain there is nowhere in that agreement that says they will give us renewals at any specific date.
Fine,
So,
I need to go back and look at it.
yeah,
It's a lot more complicated than that. And
I,
I want to get the history of when we've gotten the information before the September, deadline.
how often we've gotten that information before the September,
When we have gotten it.
how are you gonna get that information?
Pick up the phone and ask.
I'll go back through the minutes and see if I can find the other date. But, I don't know that we're in a position to actually set the date this moment, or do you know, we want to wait for Mr. Filbert to get back to us and say what he finds out? Because if he says they're not going to get us anything until this date, then that kind of steers what we're going to
Since
do.
I'm having a meeting without any new information.
Yeah, so,
Just, I'd say we'll hear back and then we'll set a date.
Well, yeah, it's entirely up to you. We've been told that we're going to be getting something third week of August. Pick something the fourth week of August. I mean,
Yep.
you can certainly have a meeting before the drop dead date, September 1st or 2nd. I like to call it first.
right.
But the fourth week in to me, I don't see that there's much of a chance for a meaningful review if we don't get it until the third week in August.
We may or may not. I mean, we'll have to work with what we got until we get what they give us, so.
Well, the 25th is the board meeting.
Right. So,
Just for the record, the email from Jason Booth was sent on June 4th regarding the decision for the county to look at other options. So, I mean, they were aware of whether or not they felt like they needed to do anything or not. I don't know,
Well,
but
I don't think that's the question.
I just wanted to say, because everybody said they didn't know when.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue at all. The issue is what are our responsibilities?
All right.
okay. So we have the property casualty bids extended to be opened on September 15th of 2025. Will you reach out to those property casualty vendors?
Yes, and I will republish that paper.
Okay.
And so 4:30 on September 15th is when you want them to do?
Yes.
But you say you still don't have the information that they need.
Yep.
So are you okay? Can you ensure you'll have that by, weren't you saying they need at least 30 days to process that information?
Sometimes it takes 30, depends on their underwriting department and how backed up they are. But as a general rule of thumb, 30 days is usually a good, from when they get it. I guess my question is, I don't know how we make department heads complete the questionnaires. I mean, if they've been sent out and asked to get them completed, I don't know where that was left off at, but if they don't complete them, then we don't get bids, I guess. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of, so I want to make this very clear. I want to help out, do absolutely whatever possible. I'm not in charge of any of this, right? Like, I want to facilitate what we need to facilitate to help you guys get the information that you need. But I'm not the one that runs it. That's the insurance company. So that's why I sent that email to all the department heads when this question was asked. I sent it to Rita as well, and I said, guys, this is the information that we need. So,
Real simple. Just make a motion that you're gonna contact all the department heads and ask if they get the information back on X date.
okay. So to be clear then, the committee is more involved in the day-to-day operations of the insurance than
No,
anticipated.
You're involved in the insurance, and if there's information that you need, you direct department heads, we need it by this date.
Okay. Well, again, I've been doing this for a while, and I can assure you that I don't deal with committees. I deal with the HR department, or I deal with the account executives. It's just, the way we do things here is rather strange on how a committee is supposed to handle what I feel is a day-to-day operation.
Derek, insurance bids aren't day-to-day. We don't bid it out day-to-day. And I can't force an elected official to get anything back to me. We've been through this as far as payroll goes. I have zero authority as it comes to getting an elected official to turn anything into me. Nor,
Okay.
I guess, do you guys. But you guys at least have budgetary control over elected officials. So you guys can have that dialogue with them. The only thing I can do is say, guys, I really need this information, and I hope in good faith that I get it back. But outside of sitting there and beating down doors to get things back, I have a job that I was elected to do that has nothing to do with insurance. We're not necessarily the HR of the county, we're de facto payroll. We are payroll, we do the best that we can getting this stuff together, but we are not the ones that manage your claims and everything.
Did you say, and I apologize if I'm interrupting and things, but we're already almost 15 minutes late in starting the board meeting, and we've got a lot on the agenda. Did you say that you've already sent one request to the department head?
Yes, and you guys were both included in that.
Okay, I don't remember that, but I'm sure you
The
did.
email that I sent, I apologize, I forgot to include in it. Derek was included in it as head of GIS. Chris Johnson sent it back to me. I still have a few other, nobody else has returned it yet. But then I forwarded it on to you and I said, Rita, here's the information. I'm sorry, but I forgot you in the email. I went ahead and sent it to all the department heads, and you said the information back, that other information would be needed, and I'm just waiting on department heads to fill it out, because it's specific to what they're.
So maybe we could take that email, Derek, and, I mean, I would do this if you want me to, forward it to the same people she forwarded it to, and ask them for it by whatever date you guys decide.
Yeah, I would appreciate if you would do that.
Can you clarify what department they sent it out from waiting for? Because several of us don't know what you're referring to.
Yes, if you didn't get one, it's not you.
Okay, gotcha, just checking.
It's mainly sheriff's departments, I got highway departments back, health department, I think we're working on that one, ambulance department. Mainly anybody that has heavy equipment, first responders, anything kind of dangerous that would be a liability issue, jail.
It's all just like, I assume what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So we need that back, extended the date until September 18th.
The 18th?
Is that in the motion?
No, the 15th.
The 15th. So
Yeah.
we need that by August 15th.
This is the property casualty, so we would be okay with it because that doesn't change till December 1st.
So just,
So the health insurance is what we were trying to figure out, and we're gonna wait till Mr. Philbrook.
question
No, what,
regarding the property.
We're talking about property casualty. You extended the date to the 15th of September.
Yeah.
So you want the department heads to have all the information in before August 15th.
Yes.
That's the date you're trying to say, I'm sorry.
okay.
Oh, we definitely want it in, hopefully before that, so, to give them plenty of time, so, that's fine.
Well, then should we say maybe August 11th?
Yeah, August, whatever.
So August 11th. Now, to be clear, who is reaching out to the department heads to say?
I will forward Natalie's earlier email, and are you okay with the information coming back to you?
That's totally fine, yeah.
Okay. And that way, we should be able to get it to the potential vendors by August 15th, which gives them the 30 days.
Sure.
And then I will update the ad in the paper for the September 15th deadline for 30 PM.
Okay.
And did anyone want to schedule another insurance committee, or do we wait until Walker gets back with us on when we'll have Hope's information?
I would prefer to wait till Walker gets back to us on, if the Hope Trust
Okay.
is, if they're getting us the information, and if so, when. So, and the information being our renewal numbers. We need to know what our renewal numbers are, so.
So you have that information, you think in a week be reasonable for that amount of information for you to
Well,
go?
I'll ask. We were just told third week in August. Best guess, but I'll ask. But I'm gonna look into the legalities first.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about, that, if that information was asked.
Try to get a date when we're gonna find out.
I don't want to get to August, the end of August, and then have like no.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any comments from press or visitors? Yes, Kim.
I know you're talking about the cost and stuff, but can you, as a preliminary thing, take what you received and compare the plan to the current plan without knowing prices? Is that something that would help you guys moving forward? Because it's not just dollars and cents, but is that something you can go ahead and move forward to? Because you know what the current plan is.
Yeah, we can compare that.
That was one of the requests from the vendors, and it looks like Lynn actually did that for us, a side-by-side, here's the Hope Trust plan, compared to here's a Blue Cross plan of a comparable deductible and so forth. But that's kind of already been done. That's the hope is that we were going to have other rates from other carriers, other plan designs, and then be able to lay them out and say, here are 3 companies to choose from. Here are the rates that they came in. Here's the benefits for them all. And again, going back to what I've said before, I'm not necessarily one direction or another. It's just if one is more expensive than another, then I don't feel that it's an obligation to the employee to have to take the more expensive plan if there were a potential alternative. that was it. That was just trying to shop this out and see if there was something else out there that may be more cost effective. And, you know, that part aside, I also, and I think Mr. Felbert addressed this in one of his articles, it does concern me of being part of a self-funded pool. We got out of self-insurance because of the claims going up and down. Pittsfield School District just got out of a self-insured pool and switched to fully insured because the numbers made sense and they don't take that risk. So there's that side too, that the county has a risk and obligation to this self-funded insurance pool, that if something goes wrong, that we may be stuck holding the bag. And you wouldn't have that with the fully insured product. So I think that there's a cost to that. I think there should be a dollar value to that risk that we're taking that should be added to the premium that we're paying in compared to a fully insured product. But we've never gotten anywhere with that, so. But anybody else? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed nay, at 7:19, so.
Okay, I apologize that we're starting late, but it is 7:19, so I'm going to call the full board meeting to order.
Vote for you guys.
If folks could find their seats real quickly.
You want to sit there?
We didn't vote for Andy, did
I don't know, ask him. Hey,
we? That's
people
a
shouldn't see.
something else. You did a public meeting. Yeah, they didn't see it before.
And I believe we have John Lyons from the United Methodist Church in Pittsfield.
Yes, ma'am.
For the invocation, and then we'll follow that with the pledge. If everyone could please stand.
United Church, please, if you all for prayer. Thank you. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening with humble hearts, recognizing the true leadership and lasting wisdom and righteousness guidance come from you and you alone. As we gather here for this county board, we invite your spirit to dwell among the leaders of this community and to shape the direction of this meeting according to your divine will. Tonight, Lord, we ask for something higher. We ask you to take the lead. May the decisions made in this room not be driven by pride or personal gain, but instead be rooted in your truth, guided by your commandments, and carried out with compassion, justice, and integrity. Father, may our community be a place where peace is pursued earnestly, where unity is valued, and love for neighbors more than just words. It's a way of life. Help us set aside division, and instead strive to live in peace with one another, as you have called us to do. Let this meeting be marked not by human agendas, but only by human discernment, holy discernment. Place on your hearts that you desire for our future. Align our thoughts with your will. Let us not ask for your blessing, but be willing to follow your lead. May this board honor you in every word spoken, every vote cast, and every decision. We seek not what is easy or popular, but what is right in your eyes. We thank you for the opportunity to serve this community. And may we do so in faithfulness and humility. In Jesus' most precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir. Okay, Natalie, roll call.
Andy Martin.
Here.
Joe Cobb.
Here.
Don Foster. Here. Rita Hoskins.
Here.
Lance Stinger.
Here.
Tom Lewis.
Here.
Mark Mountain.
Here.
Eric Ross.
Here.
Jim Shepard.
Here. Sorry.
Okay, approval of the June 23rd meeting minutes.
Rita, just comments on Facebook
Okay, thanks, Catherine. If folks could, try to remember to speak into the mics, I think it really helps. Tom, you made a motion to approve the minutes? Do we have a second? Joey, seconds. Any discussion? I just wanted to mention, under the approval of the minutes, and I put this on myself. I think last time when we were discussing I believe the finance portion of the minutes, Natalie pointed out that I think I had made a comment during the committee meeting that she had made an error, or her office had, in the earlier attempt to bid out the health insurance. And she indicated that wasn't the case, and I think Jim agreed that the circumstances were different. And Natalie asked if we could remove that from the minutes, what I had said in the committee from the minutes. And I said I didn't care, I was fine with removing it. But it's been pointed out to me since that probably wasn't the way to handle it, because even though, according to Natalie and Jim, what I said was incorrect, I did say it. And it would have been better if we just kept it in there and corrected it, that I made a mistake. I'm not sure now.
I think it was under.
Insurance, okay. So anyway, I wanted to reflect that probably the better way to have handled it would have been to just leave that in there, but note the correction.
Okay.
And I'm sorry for that.
Those have already been approved as amended, so you need to reopen those and then get reapproval, re-add that in, and then we would go through the process of then reapproving.
Which is probably more trouble than it's worth.
It's up to you, but that's what you would.
Okay. So any other discussion on that?
I'd like to add that it wasn't in the minutes that Mr. Shepherd admitted to changing the census information.
Wait a minute. I never said I changed the census information. I can't remember saying I said something to the effect, I would accept responsibility for that the bid in 2021, but I never said I changed any census information because I did not change any census information.
Oh.
So the bids were bad because of Mr. Shepherd. Is that what we put? I'm sorry, I'm not finding the correct words. Omitted, you didn't.
I didn't omit
include the
anything.
HRP people.
The HRP people were not included in the bids in 2021, and I don't know why we're still arguing over this, but I said if someone needs to be blamed, I will take the blame. Because it's pointless to go on and on about something that happened 4 years ago. It has no bearing on the mission before us tonight.
Right, and it was stated that we left out the HRP, and what was stated here, you by yourself, is that HRP wasn't insurance, and so it wasn't directed to us to bid HRP out, because again, as you stated, that's not insurance, and we were instructed just to provide the census for health insurance.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but it threw the entire bid out that year to where we had an opportunity to potentially look at saving some money, but we couldn't because not all the people were on the census.
Right, and I don't know anything about, right, I can't throw this out. I'm just explaining the fact that we did not provide any incorrect data, we provided what we were asked to provide.
And we could have went ahead and made a decision on that data, but we did not.
Like I'm not sure, I don't know.
I'm not saying that would have been Mr. Shepherd.
I don't feel we could have made a decision on the bids as they were presented, leaving those people without some form of coverage.
And the board did agree with that at the
And the board
time.
agreed with that sentiment at that time.
So are we amending Mr. Shepherd, agreeing to, he made the mistake, however he wants to word it, or?
I didn't make a mistake. I just said I would take the blame. Because I feel it's pointless to do what you're doing right now. Rehash old 4-year-old meetings. I mean, of course, you just brought up a meeting in 1998 that never happened, so we can continue down that road.
I don't know. I would say it's in the minutes now, and we can move on.
I would appreciate that, rather than go back through what Natalie described to open up the old minutes. Let's just reflect this discussion in the current minutes and leave it at that. Okay. Then we have a motion on the table to approve the minutes. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nay? Motion carried. Minutes are approved. I'm rushing to get to item 5 because I really want to read through this agenda item here in the wrong glasses I have tonight. Review and recommendation of conditional use permit application as it relates to the Pike County zoning ordinance, section 3.4.3C, other retail stores and services that are necessary to the everyday function of agricultural activity located in part of the southeast quarter of the northeast quarter of section 27, township 6 south, range 4 west of the 4th principal meridian, Pike County, Illinois, on parcel number 64-027-02A and parcel number 64-027-02, located at 17724 County Highway number 11, Pleasant Hill 62366. Chair recognizes Greg Wyatt.
Thank you. Thank you for your time hearing this. Greatly appreciated.
Greg, do you mind coming up and using the mic?
Not at all. I submitted the packet to all you guys, the conditional permit use application along with other subsequent information with parts of the zoning ordinance and photographs and whatnot. As what we're hearing tonight is on the aforementioned parcels, we are a conditional use permit for an agricultural based business for the manufacturing of fencing, gates, farm machinery, trailer repair, retail trailer parts, and also the retail of forestry equipment. The applicant would be building a new 64 by 40 building along with a smaller breezeway building to connect to the existing building that's already there. This is in the agricultural district, just below the village of Martinsburg. And as stated in section 3.4.3 subsection C, which C states automobile service stations, auto repair garage, farm implement sales and service, food store and other retail stores and services that are necessary to the everyday function of the agriculture activity. Those items I listed being the manufacturing fence and gates, farm machinery, the trailer repair and what. I believe, and the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board fully believe that it fits that definition. The Planning Commission approved or recommended the conditional use permit application to the Zoning Board on June 5th. The Zoning Board met on June 16th and recommended it to the Pike County Board. To go along with the conditional use permit, Pike County Zoning would like to attach conditions to this. 3 conditions. Number 1, manufacturing of products commence no earlier than 7 a.m. and cease by 6 p.m. This is due to the relative location of how close it is to residential area. This is Monday through Saturday. Sunday, no manufacturing activities can be performed. Number 2, retail and sales hours of operation can be determined by the owner. Number 3, loading, unloading, or parking is prohibited on or along County Highway 11. All deliveries must be delivered and unloaded on site. All retail sales or shipping orders must be loaded on site. Loading on County Highway 11 is prohibited. If a change to the existing driveway is necessary, owner must get approval from the Pike County Highway Department.
The owner is aware of these street conditions.
Yes, the owner and the applicant has attended now all 3 meetings, and he is in attendance tonight, Mr. David Schrock. If the board has any questions for him, would like to ask him anything relative to this, and he's been way compliant with all the conditions of what was put forward, and has no objections.
How many years, sir, have you been in business in that location already?
2019.
Yeah. I should have mentioned a prior conditional use permit was granted in 2018 for the country store. So it's been a little vital retail business right there in Martinsburg for not quite some time. And they would like to expand, and
So we need a motion to approve.
motion approved with the conditions. Yes, that would be great.
I would
Andy?
make the motion that we approve this recommendation with the conditions.
I'll second.
Mark seconds. Motion by Andy, second by Mark. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
Okay. Item 6, approval of DevNet renewal contract. Nicole brought this forward. She's here, and I'm hoping will help with questions if need be. It's a 5-year renewal. Walker has reviewed the contract and says there are not any legal issues with it. From what I've heard, especially this tax cycle so far, Nicole and Natalie and Scott's office have all been happy working with DevNet, so we'd like to go ahead and renew that contract. Do we have a motion? Tom?
I'll second.
Derek seconds. Any discussion? Don?
When does the current contract expire?
It's September, isn't it? What, Don's asking when the current contract expires. So I think September.
How does the current cost compare with what's in this new one?
Same.
Several years it hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed? Okay.
The cost hadn't changed? Is it required to be bid out?
Sure how you need equipment over
What,
finishing.
No, there's not.
They've already started with the assessor's office. So I mean, I'm not sure how you can switch.
you don't have to bid it out, Scott, it's just, you can just accept it like it is and go.
I would say you guys, there's 3 offices that splits. I think that's what you're talking about, 3. It's taking a little bit out specs.
Nicole, I thought I noticed that the rate went up about 8,000. I thought it was 10,000 over 4 quarters, and I think it went to 12. Did I?
This time in, I haven't seen the contract.
Oh, I'm just going by what we paid, what we're getting billed compared to what we're going to get billed. Okay. Well, I believe the new contract's going from 40,000 to 48.
49,197.
But I don't know that there's an alternative, and everybody seems to be happy with it, but just for budgeting purposes, it looks like it'll be another $8,000 a year.
Any other discussion?
Everything has. Everything has.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, motion carries. Nicole, I didn't bring a copy of it with me. Natalie's already on top of it, so I can get that taken care of. Okay, committee reports. Lance, were you reading finance for Don?
Yeah. The Finance Committee of the Pike County Board was called to order at 4:02 PM on July 16th, 2025. Members present were Don Foster, Lance Kendrick, Board Chair Rita Hoskin, Derek Ross was absent. Many guests were present. Audit for 2021 is completed. A few recommendations were suggested. Information is being forwarded and corrections are being adjusted for 2022. ARPA report came back okay and acceptable. Budget needs to be monitored with new budget hearings to start in September. Budget prep software is discussed with some available now as part of the CIC package we have. Fees, after much discussions on stale checks, a motion was made by Don Foster and seconded by Lance Kendrick to have a person wanting a reissue of check to pay any costs the county incurs. The motion was approved. Old business, the CIC interface is still in progress. New business, a request by Sheriff Greenwood for an app for his Power DMS was presented. No action was taken until further research to make sure this was something that we did not have through SRM insurance provider. August meeting is August 13th at 4 PM as per discussion at the beginning of the year. Motion to approve bills totaling $310 for GISIT was made by Don Foster and seconded by Lance Kendrick. Motion approved. This was done due to no GSIT meeting for July 2025. Monthly bills of unpaid of $120,845.46 and paid bills of $9,445.75 with a total of $130,291.21 were presented. Motion to approve by Lance Kendrick and second by Don Foster. Motion carried. Public comment, nothing additional. Motion to adjourn by Lance Kendrick and second by Don Foster. Motion carried, adjourned at 5:12 PM.
Okay. Tom, motion, Joey, second. Any discussion? All in favor? Oh, Derek?
The stale checks, I personally had experienced a situation like that. I guess this goes into effect today on, if this is approved, correct? This isn't retroactive to one of the checks that okay. Secondly, how much is it actually costing the county when a stale check actually happens? I mean, it seems to be a big deal because we had to talk about it.
It was several dollars. We went through in the meeting, what was the total, the final number we decided is?
Yeah, so it's $25, I believe, to pay them directly, and then you stop paying the bank. Yeah, if it's not payment on it, and then obviously with your manpower and reissuing and that kind of thing. It costs taxpayers a lot of money, a lot of work to stale date them. It's a lot easier to reissue. You don't have to stale date in that 6-month period.
Yeah, so I mean, it was significant enough to make a point with it.
And then this kind of goes back to the original minutes that we talked about, but I thought it had to do more with finance because Don was asked a question at the last meeting, the deficit of our budget. And I wanted to confirm with Mr. Shepard that I read it correctly. And he says that the insurance is roughly costing us $400,000. Would you like to confirm that that's what you said? Because that's what's written down.
Written down where?
In the minutes that Ms. Roseberry wrote up from the last meeting.
I don't recall that number.
Okay.
No, I think that's part of a bigger story that was either not transcribed correctly. I discussed the difference between the insurance cost in 2017 and 2020.
Correct.
2025.
And it had to do with the sheriff's department.
That had increased by roughly, I made $300,000 or $400,000. The quote I had for 2017 for self-insurance was 1.2 million, and now we're basically at 1.5 million. I compared that to the difference in the sheriff's department budget of 2018. The sheriff's department sat at $1,693,000, and I believe the 2025 sheriff's department budget is $690,000. Yet the sheriff's department is bringing in fewer dollars than it was in 2018. That was the illustration where I quoted 400,000.
Right. So I looked at your budget that was passed last year, and in there you have insurance expenses at $800,000. And then you have reimbursement of insurance of $400,000. Well, the 800 minus the 400 would be the 400,000. So I was wondering if that's where you were getting.
No, and I was talking about the total cost of the insurance program versus what it was back in 2017, 18.
Okay. Well, the comment made was it's roughly costing us $400,000 for our health insurance from the county. At least that's the way I interpreted
And
the sentence.
what I said was it's basically costing us $400,000 more than it was 8 years ago.
I see. Okay. Well, I just
Maybe I
wanted to.
didn't turn into the microphone and more got caught in the recording, but.
Well, my reason for bringing it up is because I think the 400,000 is actually closer to 700,000. And so I think there's probably about a $300,000 deficit on what we believe we're supposed to pay for health insurance and what we really are. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. For you said to check your math. I was going back to check the math. And in the budget, we have health insurance expenses at $800,000. We have $400,000 being reimbursed, which I assume is what our departments are paying. So when you take the 4 from the 8, it makes it look like we're only spending $400,000 for health insurance. That's what made me think that's why you said that number.
No, what I was referring to, of course, I was referring to the entire cost of the health insurance program, which would include employee share.
Right.
And on top of that, you're not including that in your math.
Right. So there's $1.5 million of premium. There's about $300,000 that the employees pay, and then there's $400,000 that the departments pay. So the $700,000 from the 150 is $800. So I'm coming up with $800,000 of health insurance costs to the county. The way that the budget is presented, you have health insurance at about $815,000, $845,000, and you have reimbursement at $400 and some odd thousand. There's nowhere in there where health insurance is a 1.5 million and any reimbursement from employee portions of being paid.
I think, again, you're not understanding, Mr. Ross, but I was not prepared to have this discussion, and I would be happy to have it anytime you would like.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion on the finance minutes? All in favor, aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, nay? Joey, highway? Finance minutes approved. Highway minutes?
Pike County Highway Department Road and Bridge Committee Board Meeting Minutes, July 16th, 2025. The Road and Bridge Committee met Wednesday, July 16th, 2025 at 1:30 at the Pike County Highway Department facility located at 39643 260th Avenue, Building 4, Pittsfield, Illinois, 62363. The meeting was called to order at 1:31. Roll call, present were Rita Hoskins, Don Foster, Joe Cobb, and Andy Barman. Staff, Chris Johnson, Gary Locks, and Michelle McCartney. No visitors. No public comment. Payment of claims. A motion was made by Don Foster, seconded by Andy Barman to pay claims per claim reports dated July 16th, 2025. All in favor, motion carried. Half aid to bridge, closeouts, none. New business, the county engineer continues to explore the roof repair replacement options. The air conditioning system at the highway department stopped working this month, and the unit was replaced by Peters Heating and Air. Old business, the county highway department received an invoice from Lauterbach and I guess that's Amon LLP CPAs for $30,000 for audit services rendered for the fiscal year ending November 30th, 2022, and will be paid out of the county highway fund using a portion of the windmill farm monies as previously agreed upon. Adjournment, a motion was made by Andy Barman, seconded by Don Foster to adjourn the meeting at 1:40. All in favor, motion carried.
Motion to approve. Tom, second by Lance. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Lance, highway minutes approved.
Rita, the August meeting will be
Oh,
on the second Wednesday of the month, August 13th at 1:30.
yeah. Now's maybe a good time to highlight that for both committees. When we established the regular meeting schedule for the year back in December, we put, for this coming month only in August, the Highway and Finance committees were moved up to the second Wednesday instead of the third Wednesday. Don had told us at the time that he couldn't be there, and we adjusted that 1 month accordingly. Unfortunately, it didn't get posted that way, but it's been corrected. It's correct on the website now. So just a reminder to everyone that Highway and Finance next month will be on the second Wednesday, same times, 1:30 and 4, and rather than the third Wednesday. Okay, Building and Grounds lands.
Pike County Board of Building and Grounds Committee met on July 16th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Attendees were Lance Kendrick, Tom Lewis, Mark Mountain, Rita Hoskin, and Scott Circle. At 6 p.m., called meeting to order. Tom Lewis made a motion to approve $12,922.56 in bills. Mark Mountain seconded the motion. Motion carried. A bill for $20,000 from Petty Construction. There's a typo in there. It's supposed to be Petty Construction. For annex roof repairs was presented to the committee. Tom Lewis made a motion to send the bill to the full board for approval since it was not included with the current bills presented to the committee for approval. Mark Mountain seconded, the motion carried. Tom Lewis brought up the need to address the downspout on the west side of the annex, discharging water next to the building where there is a crack between the sidewalk and the foundation. We'll discuss with Shane and look at the options for getting the water away from the building. Quotes for waterproofing the foundation were discussed. Lance will reach out for updated quotes on foundation repair. Tom Lewis made a motion to adjourn. Mark Mountain second. Motion carried. 6:17 p.m. Meeting adjourned.
Thanks. Motion to approve? Don? Second by Joey? Any discussion?
Yeah, I will add that the downspout has been looked at. There's an elbow put on it to discharge the water in a different direction, so hopefully that'll alleviate some of that.
Great. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay, motion carries. Tom, I think you were going to make a motion?
The $20,000 payment was given to us at the Building and Grounds Committee, so I make a motion to approve the $20,000 payment for the annex building roofing replacement. And that's just basically the down payment on that bill.
Yeah, we have received the full bill. It will need to be approved later, but we had some issues that needed to be wrapped up, so that's why.
Do you know if those issues have been resolved?
I'm told they were, and I don't believe, I haven't had any reports of any additional leaks being seen. So.
All right, Tom made a motion. Do we have a second? Mark, second. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carried.
Is that for the 20,000?
Yes.
The 20.
The 20,000. Okay, item D, the GIS-IT committee. That committee did not meet in July. The invoices were handled in the finance committee. Item E, public safety, Tom?
Thank you. The Public Safety Committee met at 7 p.m. at the ambulance building. Members present: Tom Lewis, Andy Barman, Jim Shepard, Chairwoman Rita Hoskin, Casey Kendall, and also there was members of the ambulance crew and Mandy Lewis. Bills in the amount of $44,343.24 were approved on motion by Barman, second by Shepard. Motion carried. Administrators report. Casey is still having trouble with the ESO program and stated that we had over 1,297 calls for the year. Transfer crew is being staffed, helping the on-duty crews from having to take the transfers to other hospitals. Casey stated that he has not gotten an estimate yet on the drains in the shop area. 3 George 19 is in Gym City Ford with AC issues. Quote was around $5,000 to get it repaired. Casey's still waiting on IDPH to approve his upcoming EMT class. Casey stated that he was starting doing morning briefings on the oncoming crews. He stated that he wanted to be better communications with his employees, and this will allow for that. He also stated he has an open door policy in his office. Casey stated that he would like to be holding a debriefing for his crew, anyone that was involved in an EMS call earlier this month. He stated he had a few employees that were having a rough time after the call. Stryker will be here on 7/17 to inspect all the Lucas devices, life packs, and our AEDs. This is a yearly inspection that we have a contract for through them. No public comment, no further business to discuss. A motion to adjourn was made by Marlin, second by Shepherd. Motion carried. Meeting adjourned 7:12 p.m.
Okay, motion to approve the public safety minutes.
So moved.
Jim, second. Mark, any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Derek, insurance?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The Pike County Insurance Committee met at 6:54 PM on July 28th. No, that's not right. 6:34 PM on July 28th. Roll call members present were Joe Cobb, Lance Kendrick, and Derek Ross. Opening of bids for potential insurance vendors. Glenn Cooley presented a bid from Blue Cross Blue Shield and United Healthcare. Confirmation under next steps, including meeting date for review. The committee agreed to wait for our state's attorney, Mr. Filbert, to reach out to the Hope Trust to find out when we hopefully can get renewal information. We're going to wait until setting up another meeting until we hear from him. Consideration of request to extend the bid application deadline for the property and casualty insurance was approved. Motion by Joe, second by Lance, to extend the bid to be open to September 15th, 2025. Rita Hoskins said that she would reach out to department heads to try and get them to answer questionnaires that have been passed out from potential insurance carriers, and those should be back by August 11th. Under comments from press and visitors, there were none, and meeting adjourned at 7:19.
Okay, a motion to approve the insurance committee minutes. Lance, second by Tom. Any discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Jim, ETSB?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The Pike County Emergency Telephone Systems Board met on Tuesday, June 24th at 6 p.m. Members present were Jason White, David Greenwood, Michael Starman, Tom Lewis, Larry Bradshaw, Casey Kendall, Mike Spann, and Jim Shepard. Also present was Stephanie Reinhardt, 911 coordinator, and also present was Jim Etok. Bills in the amount of $77,454 were approved for payment on a motion by Starman and a second by White. Vote was unanimous. Stephanie reported that she was fully staffed and presented a 3-year service agreement with Motorola for maintenance of dispatch equipment. Total cost of the agreement was $39,924.50. This was approved on a motion by Starman and a second by Greenwood. The vote was unanimous. Jim Etok presented information on microwave interference between dispatch and the repeater site at Eldera. This interference predates the installation of the windmills. He has checked and rechecked our equipment and finds everything in working order. He presented a $3,400 contract with a company called Tusa Consulting to track down the source of the interference. Tom Lewis made a motion to accept the bid, and Casey Kendall seconded. Motion carried unanimously. Jim next proposed setting up a VPN between the Sheriff's Department and Eldera. This would serve as a viable alternative. This was presented at a cost not to exceed $15,000. Michael Starman made the motion to set the VPN up, adding, if we don't do this, someone is going to get killed. Casey Kendall seconded. Motion carried unanimously. Next ETSB meeting is set for September 10th at 6 p.m. Meeting adjourned at 6:43 on a motion by Starman and a second by Kendall. Vote was unanimous.
Thanks, Jim. Motion to approve the ETSB minutes, Tom? Second, Don? Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Okay, item 8, approval of proposed county holidays for 2026. I think I sent this to all of you in an email. Do we have a motion to? Mark, okay. Motion by Tom, second by Mark. Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Sorry, real quick, there's one Vegas thing on that, just awareness, but the state of Illinois makes every general election day a state holiday. So just to make you guys aware that that will be a state holiday. So if the county doesn't recognize it, there might be some issues there. I think the courts were gonna go back and redo that. They had to do that back in, 2024. They missed it again. But election day, general election day, every 2 years is a state holiday.
So on your motions, can we say the list that Natalie provided us plus the November general election day? To be clear what we're voting on here. Thank you for the clarification. Okay, any, all in favor, aye?
What's the date?
What's the day?
I think it's the second Tuesday.
So it's the second,
Yeah.
first Tuesday.
Okay, so
I think you're right with the second.
So it's gonna be the.
First Tuesday in November,
first Tuesday.
whatever that
It'd be
is.
the fourth, Tim.
Could be
Fourth is the first Tuesday.
before next year.
Third, November third.
Third.
First Tuesday? Sorry, you're right.
Tuesday after the first Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, November third.
For the Tuesday?
For 2026,
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
November
I
3rd?
wasn't thinking about that.
Okay, any other questions, discussion? Let me try again. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Dates are approved. Okay, item 9, reappointment of Tom Leahy, Dr. Brett Schaefer, and Sherry White, NP, to the Pike County Board of Health for terms to expire on June 30th, 2028. Mark, motion? Tom, second? Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Okay. Motion carries. Item 10, reappointment of Don Welborn to the Bay Creek Watershed Conservancy District Board for a 5-year term. Andy, motion. Don, second. All in favor? Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Item 11, reappointment of Jeremy Thomas to the Rural Pittsfield Fire Protection District for an additional term of 3 years, ending on the first Monday of May 2028. Mark, motion, second by Tom. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Okay, item 12, new business. Don brought an item back from the Hope Trust conference that was just had at the end of last week. Don, do you want me to read this certificate, or do you want to talk, do you want to just say?
I can try. It was a certificate saying they were handing out dividends. And if I'm not mistaken, Jim, this is the third dividend in the life.
Yeah, first one since we joined, but yeah.
Yeah, first one since we joined, third in the life of Hope Trust. It's for $16,380. $380. It is contingent on a few things. I'm not sure when it was to be paid. When would it have been paid?
sorry, what'd you say, Donna?
When was the pay date?
Payday would be the end of this year, but it's contingent on renewal.
End of this year? Say it again?
Rita. And this one also read something funny.
But there are some contingencies
Yes.
to it.
some Contingencies.
Yeah, Jim's playing CBS over here.
That's fine, I can call it play-by-play.
So, but anyway, I picked it up for the county and brought it back. So, that's it.
Okay. Anyone else want to comment on that? Okay. Old business. Scott asked if we could discuss something here. I wanted to just say at our finance committee meeting, Scott told the committee that at that point, I think it was July 15th, or as of July 15th, we had a balance of about $276,000. And he thought we had enough to cover payroll and the finance and building and ground bills, but that we would be short in paying the health insurance unless we got the landfill check in time. You know, the committee asked Scott to reach out to Chris Johnson and work with the landfill to see when we could get that check. They got it to us very quickly, and we appreciate that. We are able to get through this month, I believe.
Yep.
But now in August, Scott is thinking that we may be short about $70,000 to $80,000. So I'll let you take it.
That's just for the first payroll. At the end of this month, we'll have $34,000 left over. So the first payroll usually runs about 170, maybe a little bit higher. We'll get our sheriff's fees the first of the month, usually it averages about 41,000. Circuit clerk fees usually average about 29,000. So that's 104. So we're going to be about $70,000 short. I have nowhere left to pull it from. The only thing we still have outstanding out there is 32,000 from the rabies fund for administration. We've got 30,000 in the county clerk's document storage fund for administration and 40,000 in the recorder fund for administration. Other than that, I've got nothing else to pull from. And I'm not going to be the one to make the decision where we draw it from. I don't recommend borrowing it from somewhere because I don't think at the end of the year you'll have the money to pay it back. In the document storage, rabies had 32, and the recorder fund has 40,000 administration. So I'm just looking for some direction before we get to the 10th payroll. My estimate will be about 70,000 short.
Unless we pull the three.
Probably, yeah.
$172,000.
We don't have to totally deplete, that's just the first payroll. Then depending upon what the bills are, but we won't have any state money, won't come in until about the end of the second week, into the third week in August.
You know what that'll be, Scott?
No, I mean, it varies from month to month. So I'm just looking for recommendation where to pull it from.
Scott, do you have a budget report there?
What's that?
Do you have the budget report there in front of you?
Yeah.
The other revenue that was 600,000, how much have we got from that so far? I was thinking we only had like 50,000 out of there.
In the general fund,
Yeah.
you get to page 6 and 7. Do you have that line off the top of your head, Derek?
I don't, I'm
I
sorry.
don't either. Other revenue, there it is. We've only collected 56,000 of that out of an estimated 595,000.
Do we know when we'll be getting that 500 and? Okay,
I don't even know what all it's for.
me either.
Scott, does the state have any personal property replacement tax payments scheduled for August?
I don't know about August. We've got the last
It's-
2 months.
It's on their website,
Yeah,
so you should be able to
the
look.
last 2 months, but that's not going to be very much. But that one won't come in until,
Second week, I know it doesn't help
everything
your
else
payroll
does
on
with the
10th.
state.
I'm just thinking about your payroll on the
Yeah.
25th, whether or not there's one scheduled for next month.
I mean, we'll get social security, income tax, and all the rest of them, use tax and all them, but they vary from month to month.
How current is the sheriff on getting paid by the feds?
We'll collect it the first week.
But they're
We'll
not-
print off the bank statement, send it over to Angie, and she issues a statement for us to transfer that money. So it should be in there at the end of, they're a month behind.
I know it goes, that's what I was saying, is it
Yeah,
gets
it's a month
spotty.
behind.
And I knew that at one time, the people that were cutting them, there was only 2 in the office, and they, apparently one got maternity leave, and one went on vacation at the same time. That's why I was curious.
But that's one on my calendar we'll pull the first week. And we'll have daily stuff come in from the county clerk's office.
Has the sheriff pulled his reimbursements from his city contracts? They're all current?
Some of them.
Are any of them
I don't know whether,
Are any of them coming due soon?
I don't know where he's at on them.
David, could you come up and maybe help us out? Jim, do you want to?
I'm just looking for the whole month of August. Do you have any outstanding unusual amounts you're expecting in August? Any city contracts that renew that they usually pony up the money for? Okay.
Yeah, last month for him was pretty high. It was like 68,000 last month. So I think that's when all your contracts come in.
The SRO.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was looking for your SRO. Didn't know if they paid in August or not.
No, most of I think they've all paid.
Okay. Oh, you're disappointing me, Dave. Hey, just prospecting.
What's that? Yeah, that's an average. That's a monthly average for him. What's that?
In your funds now. When you did,
What you have right now?
no. Where did you put that 41?
I haven't put it in there yet. It won't go in until the first of next month. And it may not be that high. It varies from month to month.
That could cover,
It may even only be 30,000, so,
would that cover part of the 70?
yeah, yeah.
When you said borrow, did you mean borrow from the bank or borrow from other?
Borrow from another fund. I mean, we're at the maximum on our anticipation note.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you couldn't take out a 2-year loan, but then how you gonna pay it back?
Madam Chair?
I'd suggest we think about this a while, and Scott, I'm sure you'll keep us updated. But if we have a problem meeting payroll as a county board member, I would hope that there would be an emergency meeting, and those decisions wouldn't be made at that time.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
And I appreciate that, but I mean, the next payroll's not that far away.
Far away, no.
And I don't see that there's any question that we're gonna not be able to meet
Yeah.
it. I mean, is there anything that could happen that would,
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, we might get a probation payment. We never know exactly. They're pretty close to up to date and current on theirs now, so sometimes theirs comes in the first week. But that's usually about 13, 14,000. I just hate for you to call a special meeting when we know it's going to happen.
Jim, I don't, I'm just sincerely asking, did you anticipate any of this with the budget?
Problems?
Was there a plan to,
I think I told you all there would be problems. And I think I went on record in December saying there would be problems. I think you ignored them. Now, I'm not gonna let you wallow in your own mistakes, but I haven't got an idea off the top of my head yet.
what mistakes would you say there's been?
I think you can go back to December and you know the mistakes you've made.
You're talking about lowering the EAV.
No, you didn't lower the EAV, you lowered the tax levy. But you told me last month that wasn't a problem, remember?
Well, I told you last month we had made up for that difference.
But you told me it wasn't a problem. Because I asked what the deficit was.
I don't think that is the problem.
No, you told me there was no deficit.
If I did, I don't mean
Because I
to say
asked
that.
them what if the finance committee had determined what the deficit was for the year. And you stepped in and said there was no deficit because you'd made up for what was cut from the tax levy. I mean,
Due to the levy.
I literally, that's not the same thing as what I asked. But
Okay.
we're getting nowhere in solving the problem.
What about the issue of the money that's in the rabies and the document storage and the recorder fund?
Well, the rabies fund, we would have complete control as a board to say, go get it. Because that's
What's that?
32,000.
32,000 what you got appropriated for administration.
But
We used to get reimbursed so much each year for salaries, but we haven't gotten anything from them since 2020.
Well, what's the balance?
Huh?
32?
32 is what's in there.
But the board has complete control over that. We can tell him to go get it.
Do we have enough authority to take the remainder out of the document storage and recorder funds?
You would have to speak to the clerk and the state's attorney.
Yeah, those are under my control solely. When I budget administration, they're not budgeted for necessarily. That was done specifically for a vaccinating project that was supposed to be done for our taxpayers out of ARPA funds. We ended up.
But you could pay some of your salaries out of those funds.
So how it works is, yeah, if I think I'm gonna be over budget, you know, if I have vacation time or something turned in, then yes, that's where I dip it, so the general fund doesn't absorb it. Right now, I'm spot on, I'm not over budget, and I'm trying to build up money so the general fund doesn't have to pay for a $500,000 project. That's what I'm trying to do. So I can't bail it out because I have my own obligations that I have to do. I will totally entertain a loan out of them.
I think any amounts that would be moved would have to be considered a loan and paid back by the end of the fiscal year.
You're not going to be able to pay it back by the end of the fiscal year. We'll have the same problem because we couldn't pay back the ARPA funds last year. I mean, it's been coming for several years.
I'm in agreement with Mark. We can sit here and make this still a blue face. But I need to sit down and bring this a little closer. And exactly find out what we can pull, what our department heads are willing to forego rather than loan. And if it takes us a year to pay it back, it takes us a year to pay it back. But like I said,
I will say, I mean, I'm totally willing on that, 'cause my back scanning project is a few years down the road. So, I mean, it's 100%, we're willing to help out. It's just, that's a critical step for the taxpayers. We need to get our records back scanned. I don't want to be another Joplin, and we're running scarce right now.
Can we take a year to repay a loan?
Do you get wrote up in the audit report?
it's an internal loan. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's still $50,000 going back to the ambulance service, it's never been paid back. So, borrow more money, as long as we allow us to get us back to that department, I have no problem.
Then what if we,
gotta pay it back.
what if we take the rabies money and if Natalie's willing, take a loan from there?
Again, we're just giving direction. The board can't make a decision on that item without it being on the agenda.
Yeah, it should have been an agenda item for us to be prepared for anyway, but.
So,
Yeah, I wasn't aware this was discussed at, I was at finance, and this wasn't discussed.
This was
at
not
finance.
discussed at finance.
so this,
Why, but this is a big financial county issue, why not? Why was it not on the finance?
Because we didn't know what the bills were, we didn't know what the payroll was gonna be. We didn't know any of it until we just got all of it. We just got
You
the,
talked about it at finance.
we just got the billboard report. We talked about somewhat.
You just said you talked about this at finance.
We talked about some of it.
We
And I thought
talked
could
about
get- We thought we
July.
could get through July, but we wouldn't be able to get through
Yeah.
August.
If it's not on the agenda, office heads don't know to bring information to the table.
Well, there's been so many things that have been changed down through the past few years. I mean, we used to take a $40,000 salary out of the recorder's fund. We did it the first year when we moved the revenue stamps over there. You got $14,000 last year, that's all you got.
Right, if you increase our grants by $100,000, you're getting an extra $60,000 a year of revenue.
It's going back into your line items.
Going to the general
Grants to pay salaries.
election, yes, election for the election salary, for my full-time election clerk, for, standard election operations, except the general fund used to absorb that we're now offsetting with grants. Like, my budget is lower than 2018, so I don't know if that is not a factor.
Well, I'm still back to the same question. I think that should be our plan. Are you willing to do that loan?
I would want it in writing from state's attorney and an agreement of a time frame when it's gonna repay it and a full motion on it. But yeah, you would have to put the motion on agenda. You can't vote on anything in old business.
This needs to go back to finance.
Yeah.
This was just for discussion.
Will we?
I just
have-
want some direction.
Go back to finance, so that
But he's
what
gonna-
Natalie's asking for, what we're doing with the rabies fund and other things needs to be documented and then brought back to the board.
Will we have time for that
No.
in August?
No, not really.
Meeting on the 13th.
Your meeting will be after the payroll.
So the thing is, you need to have a finance committee meeting.
We never know what anything's gonna be until we get the billboard report and everything from Charlie. He sends us a copy of all the bills for finance and a copy of all the bills for building and grounds. We never know what it is. Huh? No, we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got it, just the day before yesterday.
Saturday?
Well, it'd been Friday then.
But they said they approved the amount in finance last Wednesday. They read out loud and approved the amount. You were there, right?
Yeah.
So you approved the amount.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did know.
But I never know what payroll's gonna be. I never know what the health insurance is gonna be.
No one knows, we don't
No.
know, because people
Well.
turn it in differently, so you have, that's part of finance, right? You
No.
have to look at projections and average what they are, plan for the future, nobody knows exactly what their bills are gonna be, you have to estimate that.
Madam Chairman, can we move on, please?
Yep. Do I need to stay here for 6 months report?
Yeah, please. 6-month reports. We have Scott and Bryce. You want to present yours tonight too? Are there any others from,
Do we need a finance meeting prior to the next one?
Sounds like it.
we'll figure that out as we go.
We need 2 weeks' notice? 15, do we need 15-day notice
For a finance
for
committee
a
meeting.
special finance meeting?
Do we need, he's asking how much notice we need to schedule a meeting.
For a special finance.
Right.
If it's a special, I would call it an emergency finance.
Okay,
That's where you're at. Accelerate the notice.
okay, and what's the notice time? How much time?
48 hours for
48 hours.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but. And how are you gonna get that to full board?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta get full board for.
That's why you gotta call a special full board meeting. But early finance won't do any good because it won't be approved until the end of next month.
If it had been an agenda item, we could have approved the finance committee to take whatever action is needed.
So basically, we have that 2 weeks.
Well, we don't have to have finance.
We just have a special board instead of finance. Because it's gonna take us to approve it. We just have a one agenda item meeting. So,
And the finance, payroll, if I got my dates right, will be dropping on the 8th.
Yep.
right?
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
because that's a Friday.
And so,
And Scott will need to
there's
order
2
his
days
office by the
of
6th.
loss, and then for it to get processed, to drop on the 8th, once it got
So
dropped
that
on
would,
the
we
8th.
would have it by the 5th?
Whenever Catherine sends it.
6th? Yeah.
It's usually 2 days before it's
By
due.
Wednesday the 6th.
So we have to meet next week.
So you're gonna have to have a special board meeting before Wednesday the 6th.
I see the payroll's gonna come through early too. Because it'll be the 8th instead of the 10th. Be the 8th instead of the 10th, so we'll get it needed on the 6th.
Yeah, that's what we just said.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to have a special emergency meeting before August 6th. Because as I talked with the finance chairman, the one thing you can't miss is payroll. That's gonna open up a Pandora's box of wrath from the state of Illinois if we miss payroll.
Then maybe we should hold on paying some of the bills we approved this month. Reserve it for payroll.
I do have 20-some thousand left in there from the landfill payments for the highway health department and Two Rivers that haven't been paid yet.
What's our way schedule look like for next week? 4th, 5th, or 6th?
I'll be in Florida.
I'm going with Andy, no,
I'm out.
Name a special meeting.
I'm going next week.
I can be here 4:56.
I'm going to.
You're gone.
We just need 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm free every night till the 16th of August.
Are there any funds at all that you can just use?
Not really.
Like what about I know I always go to this, but the accommodation tax balance that's just sitting there?
That'd be up to the board.
Can we look at August 4th for a meeting? Let's get the date down. We can hash all this out that night.
Monday the 4th.
That way, we get this put out, the department heads know what's going on, what we might be able to do. It still gives us a day after the 4th.
Any particular time? 4, 5, 6, 7?
6 works for me. 6 is good.
Kind of same.
4, 5, or 6 is good.
It's supposed to be 90 degrees again, I don't care.
4 o'clock.
And I'll just ask one more time, are you sure we can't hold some bills?
Not really, I don't know, I'd have to look at,
Like what about
See
the
what all is in it.
20,000 we just approved tonight?
no, that's coming out of liability insurance.
That's not even touched. This is all stuff that we can discuss. As long as we get that the agenda out for the next day, we're good.
Okay,
Just ask a quick question. On the landfill distribution, I didn't hear you say. So will the health department be getting their distribution from that?
Yeah,
Yes.
That's nothing changed there.
no. The general fund bills, payroll is the only ones that fall under this one.
okay.
Hopefully, everybody still got their sheets from last month.
Hold on a minute, on the agenda, we'll need to be exact what we're doing. Do we want to say that we're going to take the 32 from rabies and then borrow 38 from recorder or dock storage fee fund?
I can't get all of it by any means. I have to keep some as backup.
Well, that, you've got 70, so,
Right, I need time to look at what my expenditures are gonna be for the rest of the 4 months in our budget and that kind of thing. So I need time, this is the first that I've been approached about any of this tonight. So I need time to look at it and then I will totally contribute some of it, but I won't have expenses that come out of those two funds. So I will need time to look at them, and I'm sure other office heads that are willing to contribute will need time to look at their special funds too.
And we're not giving you guys a whole lot of time to do that.
It's fine, and I'm sure we'll figure it out.
I think we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, we will.
But, I mean,
But I just can't commit to a number until I look at what I've committed to already on the notes that I have back.
and I don't think any department head can
Yeah,
do that without looking at their funds.
right, now, if we talk about finance, I probably would handle it the time I get it, that things come up. So I just, right now, I can't off the top of my head.
so Walker, is it okay to be that vague? We don't have to say we're considering borrowing from X, Y, and Z funds?
It's gonna be an inter-fund transfer, so I think you'd be like an inter-fund documentation that would have to be executed to have that trail for auditors. To know like what needs to be paid back, what are the terms, like when it's paid back.
You know, I'm not talking about auditors, I'm talking about the Open Meetings Act.
What I'm talking about is how it's gonna be listed has to match what occurs. Is
Yeah.
Open Meetings Act, and that means the auditors will follow what occurred.
Well, again, since this wasn't specifically on the agenda, I'm not exactly prepared to talk about this, but if the treasurer is stating that, and I don't know, are you stating that you have no authority to decide where to pull the money? Or-
I don't have any authority.
Or are you asking, I'm not pulling the money from, even though
I don't have the authority to pull it.
you don't have the authority
No.
to pull it? Okay, so what you're
Not
asking.
unless I'm authorized.
So what you're asking for was the board to authorize you to pull it, right?
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know why it wasn't on the agenda like that, then, because then you could have taken action tonight. But having said that, if that's.
The agenda was-
If that's your position. then-
The agenda was already posted before we even knew what we were where we were gonna be at.
Okay, fine, but there's your answer. You need to have board action. Otherwise, he's not gonna do it. So there's your answer. You're gonna have to call an emergency meeting.
We're there, we're already there. What I'm saying is what should be the agenda for that emergency meeting?
To give the treasurer the authorization to pull from these funds and to document where you're pulling it from and what it is.
Next Monday.
And I've been telling the board for the last several months, where we were headed.
Well, okay, so what time did you guys say you're gonna meet? 6 o'clock on the 4th. And Tom, you'll chair the meeting?
Yep.
I'll draft the agenda tomorrow and send it to you, and if you're okay with it, then we'll get it posted.
Just get it posted. I have no problem with you getting the agenda correct.
Jim, what were the $250,000 we got wrote up for in the audit? When were those borrowed? I know they've been outstanding for several years. The ambulance and
You're getting an ancient history. I want to say it's like 12 or 16 or 17.
I know it's way back there.
2012. It's been up, or maybe even earlier than that. One has been hanging for a long
It was before my time. I didn't even know what it was used for. Health insurance, I think.
One I know was health insurance. The other, I forgot. It may have just been general fund, but and it may have been. I can't remember specifics.
Did that come out of the tax funds?
No, it was come out of well, not the one, the two big, again, we go back to the two, there's two different tax funds. One is specifically for public safety, and one is specifically for ambulance. And it would come out of the public safety one, because I want to say that one of them.
Didn't we purchase a
One of them may be
squad
for
car?
purchase of squad cars.
Yeah.
And I think that was Paul bought 48,000 worth of squad cars one year at lease payment. That's what sticks in my head anyway, but
Yep.
again, it's at least 9 or 10 years ago.
Does everybody still have their report from last month?
I included it in the packets.
Huh?
I included it in the packets.
Like I say, I gave them each one last month.
Yeah, I included it in the
Okay.
packets also in case they bring it.
So any questions?
Okay, I got a few. Last month, on the audit report, we were written up for having $750,000 in unsecured funds. I asked the auditors whether it was one bank or two, because I'd heard that one of the problems was that one of the banks had changed employees.
Two of them.
That new employee had not made you aware of a shortfall.
Yeah.
They said it was two banks.
The
What was the story on bank number two?
The second one is the 708 Mental Health Board has an account in the same bank. And at the end of 2022, there's $266,000 in it, which I don't have a record of any of theirs. I had to contact them, ask them what that bank account was. And it's a 708 board.
But the auditors picked that up as being.
The auditors picked it up because they run under our FIEN number. Now, whether they need to create their own or what, I don't know. I haven't checked with them on it.
Okay, I was concerned because the bank I was told it was at, the only fund I knew that was there was the ETSB funds.
The other one, there was a staffing change that I wasn't made aware of, and the one that took care of my securities is the one that left, and it didn't get cleared up until in December. Well, they go off of November 30th date, but it got cleared up in December.
Okay. Looking at this report, every bank account that's on this report has an interest rate listed as 0. Is that accurate?
No, I don't know what shows up as 0.
No, every one of them says we're getting no interest on anything. And I was curious because.
No, every one of them's got interest.
Every one of them's got an interest
Yeah.
rate.
And the interest be put into the account, so it may just be the way it pulls, I don't know.
No, but every one of them says we're getting no interest on anything.
No, we're getting interest on them.
And that brings me to another question. When you collect taxes, and we have all that money, let's just say that the entire levy for the school districts and everybody is $20 million.
27.
Huh?
27.
$27 million, okay. Do we have that in an interest-bearing account before we make first distribution?
Yes.
Okay. And what do we get on that?
And the interest gets dispersed to the taxing entities.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's the way it's always been done. Not saying it's right, but
I was gonna say, in talking to other counties, they keep the whole thing.
I'll have to look into that. But they get an interest check at the end of each year.
Okay, well, I just was discussing this matter with another county, and they keep the whole things, because, you know, $10 million for 30 days, even at 1% is $8,200.
Yep.
And we're only 17% of the tax bill, our share. But we go through all the trouble to chase everybody down to collect it, so I don't see a problem.
I will look into it, but I mean, they've always gotten an interest check at the end of the year.
That we could. Now, that would, Walker's sitting there thinking, Mandy's giving me more work. Sorry, I'm back to play-by-play. And the tax sale indemnity fund. We've got $110,000 in that. Do you recall what we have to maintain for a minimum in that? I know
It's a percentage.
It's a percentage of the EAV, but I can't
Yeah.
recall off the top of my head.
And with the EAV going up, we're probably maybe borderline staying where we need to be.
Okay, is that 110,000, do we keep a chunk of that as a CD, or is that all in a bank account?
No, it's in the bank account.
Okay, but that amount really, because it's basically an insurance fund, couldn't we start putting that in CDs and get a little more money?
Probably.
Also, I mean, I've got bank balances here, but I don't have the CDs, and I know we've got CDs for ambulance
Yep.
and ETSB, and would appreciate those.
I can send you copies of them.
Okay, now, the 25 million that's sitting in the clearing account, income tax clearing account?
That's a false number.
Okay.
That's because payroll has never hit it.
Okay. You do understand you're supposed to give us accurate reports, right?
Yeah. That's kind of hard to do when 85% of it's programmed in from the clerk side.
You do understand it's still your responsibility, right? Even if it's not your problem.
Whatever. You know, it's impossible to do that, but
I don't think impossible is quite the right word.
Yeah.
But we can agree to disagree on your interpretation.
yeah.
Okay. These are some of the things. We were also written up on several financial policies. Have we made any progress on getting those?
We're working on finance.
Giving that to finance.
Walker and I,
And finance is pointing at somebody else.
Walker and I have discussed some of these
Yeah, we discussed it.
and trying to get,
You're supposed to call a meeting so we can discuss it with the finance committee.
I was going to put it on the agenda. Yeah, for the next meeting.
That's what we discussed.
Yeah.
We're talking about talking. Gotcha. Okay, that's pretty much my questions.
Can you tell me what the 101,000 for the probation revenue in the budget this year?
Can I tell you about the 101,000 in probation revenue in the budget? Are you talking probation services or probation?
The probation fund.
Probation fund, 101,000. That was that grant. I think it came actually before this budget year.
That's revenue that we will not get this year.
That's, we got, yeah, I think they sent it. The judge told me it was coming in December, and I think we got it in November.
So we had a surplus on the previous.
We got a surplus in 25, you might say, that we weren't counting on, but the judge, and when I talked to him in September, says, oh, well, they're giving us this extra money. They sent it early. Not normal for the state, but.
Scott, you can check them.
What's that?
Check the report, but I think it's listed in there twice.
It does. I mean, it's got the
It's got
probation reimbursements in one line, and then it has probation reimbursement of
But it's for the same amount.
101,000.
It's the same hundred, and I just assumed it was an entry error, but I
Yeah.
don't know who enters our budget, so. But in Mr. Shepherd's budget that's listed on the website, it's not out there
It doesn't have
twice.
it, no.
But it's in CIC twice, so I think I think there was an error, so,
When it was programmed in.
yeah. I don't think we're gonna get reimbursed twice.
Nope. Any more questions?
Thanks, Scott. Bryce? Bryce?
Thanks, Scott. Bryce, it's all you.
Thanks, Scott. Bryce?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't really want to make this meeting go too much longer. What we've done is my bookkeeper has put together a more detailed report that everybody has in their packet where money comes in, money comes out. And then, so Mr. Foster was asking for some more clarity on like what funds are paid out. And so there's the 6-month report is basically this December, the paper that says at the top, Pike County Circuit Clerk SOA, that's Schedule of Accountability. And on the rest of the papers, it says that at the top. But that dated December of 24 through May of 25 is that 6 months. So it shows where the money is credited and then debited out by checks. But over on the left column is where all the checks that go out at the end of the first of the month. Past the end of the month on the first business day, we try to get those checks to the treasurer within the first couple of business days. So that she went to a lot of work to name what these checks are and what they're, and by statute, that's where they go. And if you guys remember back, I don't know when it was, a couple months ago, I brought a stack of statutes for where these funds go, and that's why we do it that way. And our system that we have, our AS400 system, is set up, we go by the statutes and set that up so that, for example, and I've used the example before, the easiest one's a traffic ticket, $164 is the check that somebody, if Don gets a speeding ticket, he gives me $164. I distribute that out to different funds by statutes. So the money comes in, money comes back out. It might come in, there might be a bad, not so much a bad check, but there might be a change, little things like that. Somebody might have, for instance, supervision that they're working with, State's Attorney's Office. They may pay us money and we may hold that money until an agreement is reached. So sometimes those funds some money's taken 1 month and given out the next. But don't want to go into great detail, but that's it. And also there's each individual month. I assume you all got that. Does everybody see that? Each individual month of that 6 months and then one of a 6-month report, but you can kind of see where money goes in, money goes out. So, and I sent it in color so that you could see. I don't know if everybody has a color printer, if they print it out, but the debits is in red to show the difference. So, yeah, it depends on your printer. Yeah, that's why I sent it by email, so that you would have, if you pull it up on your email, it'll be in color. If you have a color printer, that may help you see that. But as far as conversations being short of money, our office has given the second half of our contribution to the general fund. It's a substantial amount. We've done that, so we do it in 2 halves. So the second half has been done.
How much was it?
86,000
Twice and once?
once, 43 twice.
That's all right, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, yeah. We had a deal with Judge McCartney where he borrowed a little bit of money. We worked together with them on the courthouse renovations. He's paid all that back. Our equipment's working good. We're coming up on, our computers are a little over 3 years old. I think we put them in 22, like May of 22. There is, equipment is working good. We have an occasional issue, but our staff is able to get those resolved. They do a great job at that. But there is another grant coming up that we're going to be applying for. We're told, I haven't received anything officially, so we're still working on grants best we can. I don't know how many more years that will go, but what it is a technology grant, and some of that has also come in, the judge has been able to get some for the courtroom. As you all know, when COVID hit, Zoom meetings and everything kind of pushed to the forefront, and that cost a lot of money, and we were able to get, judge was able to get a lot of grants for that, and our computers and printers and so forth, so. A little bit to look at there, but hope that makes sense, so you can kind of see where things, by statute, where they go. So, once again, if you have questions, you can reach out. Thanks for what you guys are going, sorry for what you guys are going through. I hope we can get through anything. Anybody got any questions for me? Or if you do, reach out to me.
If you have any brilliant ideas to help our cash flow, feel free to speak up anytime, Bryce.
Yeah, I keep trying to figure that out, and I've given $86,000 and getting a lot of grant money, and I've worked really hard. Our team has worked really hard for that. And I will tell you, our team is very cost conscious about things, and we're watching it close. So if I think of something, I don't know what it'd be. But are there assets, buildings and things that can be borrowed against to get through? Are we trying to get through a month or 2 payrolls, or until everything else comes in? And there's assets out there, but I don't know what the rules are, so. Buildings that we own, or, I don't know.
Thank you, Bryce, for what you do.
Yep. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah.
Thanks, Bryce.
Are we done with everybody else?
I don't believe there's anyone else here tonight with the 6-month reports, are there? Unfortunately, Walker stepped out, but I asked him to look into the statute about 6-month reports because I wasn't sure what was required. What he found is that any public officers who receive, receive all or any part of their funds from the county collector or the county treasurer must do 6-month reports. So I don't know what the ramifications are if they don't do them, but they're supposed to be done 60 days after January 1st and after July 1st. So we still have time to come into compliance this time. Last time we had the county clerk, we've had highway, and now we've had circuit clerk and treasurer, and there's still some more to go. I'll send a note to the people who haven't submitted them yet. Okay. I don't have anything for chairman's remarks. Approval, item 16, approval. Andy.
We didn't do anything with old business. I had an item.
Oh, I'm sorry, but Scott took over with the old business, so I should have asked for others. Go
I just
ahead.
wanted to know if there's been any progress with Frontier, the fiber optic situation with the Frontier.
I have not heard of anything, and I have not talked to that gentleman in quite a while. The last time I was involved, the Economic Development Group was working with a vendor to try and see if they could encourage others to get involved. Mr. Nelson that we met and talked with, he did say that they had submitted a grant application for a couple of areas in Pike County. It doesn't sound like it was the whole thing. But he did say that they'd submitted applications, and I have not heard back since then. I can double check on that to see what's happening.
We've got a new person in the Pike County Economic Development Administration, so try to get her up to speed.
Yeah.
We did briefly talk about broadband this evening at PCC EDC. Brenda said there had been one vendor expressed an interest. They were not planning to start doing anything until 26. That was the extent of the conversation. But she has been in touch with them recently.
I don't think they're working with Frontier though, are they?
She didn't say. I just said one vendor, and I'm just quoting word for word what she said.
Okay. Okay,
I'm sorry, we did not approve the 6 month reports, we still need approval on those.
oh, the 6-month reports, the two that we heard tonight. Do I have a motion, Joey? And Tom, second, for the circuit clerk and treasurer's reports. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion carries. Thanks, Natalie. 16, approval of summary of expenses and mileage and per diem for July 25.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Building and Grounds Committee, 12,922.56. Public Safety, 44,343.24. GIS, 310. Finance, 130,291.1. Remind you that 20,000 has not been put into this, that was just approved. Special funds total, 18,879.59 for a grand total of 206,746.60. And then for mileage and per diem, 623.25 economic development. Rita Hoskin and Derek Ross will be copied for the vacancy on that committee. June 23rd board meeting, HR was absent. GIS IT, no meeting was held. Highway 716, Oliver was present. Finance 716, Derek Ross was absent. Building and Grounds 716, Oliver was present. Public Safety 716, Oliver was present. Monthly board pay $600 for a total of $1,811.60. I also included your final tax computation report at the very back of it. I know I sent emails to you all. Very proud of the staff. They were able to roll property taxes in 2 days. This will take the office 5 weeks. We saved over $4,000 in interest on the anticipation note due to a lot of the training that staff did last year to prepare themselves for the role. So I was very proud of them getting this in and out. Got a lot of compliments for DevNet. So I believe it's been the treasurer's hand since we go for Friday, and I believe the tax bill was a little while when, Scott?
August 6th.
August 6th, okay.
Your first 2 days.
Okay, a motion to approve? Tom, second? Derek? Sorry. Any additional discussion? All in favor, aye?
I would just like to say,
Lance?
this is something I wanted to bring up when we first started talking about having financial issues and coming in that, but I feel like any special meetings regarding getting funds transferred for payroll, I would not be in favor of any pay or per diem for board members to travel to have those meetings. We've already spent enough doing that, and I just want to make that comment. I don't know if there's anything we can do about it, but.
All right, thank you. Did I vote on that? No. Jim, did you have something else?
That just came to me, Don, sometime in the next couple of weeks, you would want to reach out to Nicole and have her work up an EAV for the taxes we're going to collect in 26. You'll need that for a starting point for your budget process.
She's not back there.
And it'll take her a little bit of time to work that number up.
Okay. Thanks, Jim.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed, nay?
Nay.
Item 17, comments from the press and visitors. Anything? No one else? Okay. Then, on the agenda, We have 2 items for closed session. Let me just read them. First item is review of minutes of past closed sessions per Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 122C21. Discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under the Act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by Section 206. The second item is planning for upcoming union contract negotiations for sheriff and ambulance departments per Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 122C2. Collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. Following that, our last item is adjournment. So I would ask for a motion to go into closed session, but I would say to the group, our intent is to adjourn as soon as we come back. I'm going to close the streaming while we're in closed session, so you can make your own decisions as to whether you want to hang around or not. Tom, did you make a motion for? Do I have a second? Don, any discussion?
Yes, you don't anticipate any motion after the review of the closed session minutes?
Yeah, since we're talking about whether or not to release them.
No, I don't. I don't anticipate a motion afterwards. And there's nothing on the agenda.
Well, it's on the agenda.
It's on
We
there.
have to vote whether or not we're going to release them.
You need to either vote to leave them in closed section, or leave them closed, or open them up.
Yeah, right.
That's why you review them.
That'd be open and open.
Yeah, in the open meeting.
Walker, I don't, at this point, well, I'm not sure. I guess this is fine. I told Walker I've been looking at the section of the Open Meetings Act that deals with this. And in my view, and I certainly don't want to talk for Walker, I've asked him to look at it too, but in my view, what we need to review are the minutes. And I don't believe tonight we will have any minutes. So there wouldn't be anything to release.
No need for that closed session. We have nothing to review. There's
Walker,
nothing
do
to
you
review.
believe I'm wrong on that?
I have no idea what's available. You referenced a list of minutes. The only reason we would be going to a closed session would be to review them and then decide whether to keep them confidential or to release them. That's a decision that would have to be made.
Right.
So I thought there was a list of meetings. and-
There's a list of meetings that Natalie provided.
That was provided to us in an email, correct? Right.
Yes.
So I thought that's what you wanted to discuss.
Anyway, I don't know how folks feel. I don't think we'll have anything to release after this. But as I say, people can make their own decisions as to whether they
But don't we
wish to
have
stay.
to either leave them leave them closed or open them after we discuss it?
After we discuss it.
You have to make a determination whether you're going to keep them confidential or to release them, and that decision has to be announced at the open meeting.
So we will have a discussion after we come back out of closed
Yes.
session.
Even though there's nothing else on the agenda about it in the open session?
Well, again, it's not here, it's closed session, but that's what we're going to do. And
So it's
then-
there, it's on the agenda to
And
be
any
discussed.
time you take any action in closed session, it then has to be recorded after you come out of closed session. So the fact that we're going to the closed session to discuss that, it's implied that if there's any action taken, we're gonna have to tell the world what.
So yes, we will have to have a
Yes.
Either or.
either or after we come back out of
Okay.
closed session. Plain and simple.
Correct.
So
It'll be up to these people. if they
it's
wanna
still
stay
up to
for the
folks
next
whether they want
hour
to
and a
stay.
half or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. We had the motion and second, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed, nay? And I am ending the streaming.